Hello and welcome to another Summer Reading Crafts. I'm Mr. Eric, and before we begin, I want to mention that if you go to our Independence Public Library Facebook page, you can actually sign up for the Summer Reading Program. And it's for all ages, for babies, for kids, for teens and adults. And you can also possibly win some prizes. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that. And yeah, so now we can get started. So today we are going to have some fun with bubble painting. Now we've normally just blow bubbles, but what if we decide to paint with bubbles? Yeah, that could definitely be a lot of fun. So let me show you some of my drawings that I've made, or my paintings that I've used with bubble painting. So here's one. And then here's another one with different colors. And I kind of like this because it leaves really cool designs all around. All right. So before we add or make the bubble solution, I want to just let you know that sometimes it can be difficult to for younger kids to practice blowing through a straw. And so what I would do is practice with some milk, maybe. It's just regular milk. And that way, when they, if they forget to blow through it and they ingest it, then at least it's something that is, that's safe. And so, yes, so when you're blowing through the straws, on the bubble solution, you definitely don't want to inhale it. And even if they do, the bubble solution is very, it's not a really good taste, so they'll definitely not swallow it. But yes, but definitely practice with something that's a lot safer, like milk. And or if you like, you can also blow their bubbles for them, and then they can just add their bubbles to their paper. So yeah, so what you're going to need for this is you're going to need some containers, some small containers just like this. You're going to need some straws. You're going to need some painter's tape, just like this, or any tape that can work. And you're going to need some paint. So what I'm using is tempera paint, but you can experiment with other types of paints and see like how it works. Another option is food dye, so coloring dye. The food coloring would be another option, and I think that one does come out the best. But I just decided to just go with tempera paint. And you're going to need some bubble solution, just like this. Now, if you don't have any bubble solution, you can just make bubbles with just some liquid dishwashing soap and some water. And I'm going to show you how to mix those together. So what we're going to do first is we're going to add our paints to our containers. So let's do that. So I'm going to shake this one first. And let's just add, you want to just add enough towards the bottom of the container. And you can add more to it if you want it to come out a little bit more colorful and not just clear. So yes, definitely add as much paint as you want. Oh, let me shake this one. All right, so. All right, and so as you can see, I just added just a little bit there. Now what you're going to do is you're going to add some water. And with the water, I'm just gonna add it until it gets halfway or towards the middle of the container. Okay, and I think that looks good. So yes, you just want to add it halfway, kind of in the center of the container. And now we're going to add our dishwashing soap. So you can use any soap would work. And this one does look a little bit blue, but once you mix it all up, it will make it look with the same color. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I just added like a small, well, I just add some in there, and yeah, and then I'm gonna use the straws to mix them up. So this is where I added the painter's tape around the straw, so that way I don't mistake which end I'm using. So this end is where it's gonna go inside the bubble solution. So yeah, let me just mix that up. You definitely want to mix it very, good, so that way it's not just separated. All right. So I'm gonna add some more orange paint to this one. All right. Let's just add a little bit more. But it should still come out as orange when you blow on it. So let's look at that. All right. So I think our bubble solution is ready. So now, once you have your paper, oh, let me go ahead and grab it. All right. So this is another thing that I forgot to mention is you're going to need some white paper. I would say cardstock paper works best. And so yeah, definitely you will need cardstock paper for that. So now we can start blowing through the straw to make our bubbles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set aside the two other ones and just work with one at a time. So now that you have your bubbles, remember you want to practice first with milk, and then if they get the hang of it, then you can move to the bubbles solution. So let me show you what that looks like. So you're just going to blow with this. Just like that. All right. And so what you're going to do next is you're going to grab your cardstock paper and you're just going to kind of just smush it down on top, just like that. And it'll show up like that. So what I can do is I can add more layers to it if I wanted to. Yeah, and so you'll kind of see it'll come out more as I add more layers to it. Yes, so when you are blowing through the straw, you want to make sure not to blow too hard, so that way you don't splatter everywhere. So that's why I laid down some newspapers or something that can cover the surface area. And so yeah, it kind of looks like that. So now what you can do is what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to another color, and I'm going to do green. All right. And yeah, just kind of smush it down like that. Now you don't want to leave it on for too long because you don't want the paper to get too wet. But yeah, it'll kind of like leave bubbles there, and you can just pop those like that. So yeah. So now I'm going to move on to my next, or my last color, which is orange. So yes, this definitely will get a little, I would say a lot messier. So definitely you would want to lay down something to cover your work area. So yeah, so it's just like that. And so see, it doesn't show up very well, so I'm gonna add more layers to it. Okay, so that's how it looks like right now. I'm gonna add one more layer to it. Yeah, and you can also experiment with the bubble solution and see how that comes out. So yeah, so that's how you do bubble painting. Yeah, so you can kind of make cool colors and see how if you put them together, would they mix maybe, or how? So how would that look like? So yeah, so that's how you can do bubble painting. So yeah, thank you for joining me on another Summer Reading Crafts, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.